Hi everyone, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll help the channel out and it'll get you more videos like this. Let's get to it. And our first one is from Sour Cream Cheddar. Would I be in the wrong for snitching on my sister for the way she lives? So I, a 19-year-old female, have a sister, 21-year-old female, who just recently got out of a really bad situation. To put it simply, she was in a very bad relationship with a longtime boyfriend of 6 years, but they finally broke up with him about 9 months ago. For much of the time since, I've been away at college, but now I'm back home for the summer, and I've realized that I hate the way she lives and how it affects our family, and I'm contemplating telling my father all about it. My older sister broke up with her terrible boyfriend about 3 months ago before turning 21, and since then has been partying a lot more, both at clubs and are at our own house. The clubs I don't care about. My problem is when she has parties and otherwise is a very rowdy smaller hangouts with her friends at our house. Because we just recently downsized from a 2-story home to living on just the first floor of a rental, so whatever nonsense they get up to, I can't escape it, at least at hearing it. Also, this is the point of the post. I've already seen firsthand that those friends have a bad influence on our younger sister, a 15-year-old female, who will hang out and drink a lot with them. Ooh, yeah, get her away from that crap. I won't give details, but trust me, a lot. It's also worth noting that I'm very much not a partier myself. At school, my roommate and I would rather order Domino's and watch a good movie together than go to a frat party. I don't enjoy drinking. I don't like being around drunk people. Me too, I get that when people are completely drunk. Even if you're a nice drunk, I just don't like it. And I value the ability to have a good time without alcohol in my friends and myself. So I'm considering telling my father, who does not live with us because of the divorce, about all of this because my mother is either at work, midnight shift, during these hangouts, or she will supervise it. Because she's a "I'd rather you drink under my roof than someone else's roof" type of cool mom, despite the fact that the problem lies with how much they're drinking, especially my younger sister. Anyways, I once told my father only that I find one of my older sister's friends, the worst of them in my opinion, to be a terrible influence on my little sister, and my little sister just called me a snitch for doing so. I don't fault her for that, because I can understand she's young and can't see this from an outsider's perspective, but I worry for her well-being because alcoholism is on both sides of our family, and I find it highly irresponsible of my older sister to keep on bringing these people around, who has agreed her friends are bad influences, yet hasn't done much to stop them, as well as negligent of my mother to be so lax about alcohol. I know my little sister will be pissed at me for weeks for snitching, but should I tell my father anyway? Yes, you should tell your father. It's making the situation for you worse for you, but you're grown, and while your sister's partying and drinking, these are grown people. But now they're giving alcohol to a 15-year-old. OP, I don't know where you live. I'm assuming America. But you shouldn't do that because if cops get involved, they're going to see a little 15-year-old, and that's going to be a whole problem there. And plus, she shouldn't be doing that. She should be protecting her sister. And she's letting these people give the little one alcohol like that. Who knows what else might happen when alcohol is involved? And yeah, I get why your little sister called you a snitch because she's little and she thinks she's being cool by drinking with people and all that. She thinks that's the thing to do when she shouldn't. Yes, you need to tell your dad. Your mother is an enabler and she's making things worse. Eventually something's going to happen, horrible's going to happen to your sister, you, or your little sister. So P, you need to protect your little sister. I think the eldest one is long gone, but at least protect that little one and tell your dad so people can get involved and handle the situation because this is not a good situation to be in. OP, you definitely would not be in the wrong for doing that. And our next one comes from New Street Zero. Am I the beehole for telling my stepmother she's embarrassing herself? My father and my stepmother have been together for a little over a decade. I'll call her Nikki. She didn't move in with him until years after I had moved out, so I had never been close with her. I don't actually call her stepmother. To be honest, Nikki annoys me. She is childish and naive in ways that often feel forced. She'll speak in a high-pitched voice and replace random words with baby versions of them. Think boo-boo and wee-wee. I'm always nice to her, of course, but I don't like being around her for long. I didn't dislike her at first, but when my kids, a 6-year-old male and a 3-year-old female, were born, Nikki's antics almost immediately went up to 11. Whenever she's around them, she acts either younger or the same age as them. I can never tell whether she's trying to get their attention or my father's, but it's gotten to the point that my husband and I try to minimize contact between her and our children. My daughter's third birthday party took place a week ago, and both my dad and Nikki came. At one point, I noticed that rather than take a seat at the tables like the other adults, Nikki was walking around talking to the kids. It was odd, but no one seemed bothered, so I didn't do anything about it. Half an hour later, my 5-year-old goddaughter came up to me and asked me why there was a lady talking like a baby. She told me she was scary and that she didn't want to play with the other kids while she was around. I went up to Nikki and suggested that the kids sit down. I explained that the kids wanted to play by themselves, and having an adult like that would bother them. She seemed fine with it. Sometime later, my daughter ran up to me crying. She said that Nikki wasn't letting her play with her friends. At that, my husband and I pulled Nikki aside. From what I gathered, the girls were trying to play princesses, and she was trying to dictate who everyone should be. We told Nikki, once again, to take a seat and leave the kids alone. She tried to argue with us, saying she was only trying to make sure they were having fun. I replied, "They aren't. You're not a child. They don't want to play with you. I know you mean well, but you're embarrassing yourself, so please sit down and stop bothering them." She stood there for a few seconds before she took a seat next to my father. The party continued without any issues. I later found out that at least 3 of the other kids had also complained to their parents, but they didn't tell me. One of them figured Nikki was an entertainer I hired. Oh, well, alright, that's a way to see her. A couple days later, my father called me and told me off how I treated his wife. He said that Nikki is heartbroken, and that I was extremely rude when she just wanted to play with the kids. I reminded him that the children didn't want to be around her, but he's still insisting I apologize. My husband told me that someone had to do something, as the kids were upset. I feel like this is a dumb issue, but I can't help feel that I might have actively been rude. Am I the beehole? Hi, OP. No, you're not the beehole. Whatever she was doing was creepy. That's over her doing Goo Goo Gaga talk. You know, you're trying to play princesses with the kids and dictate what they do. That's weird. You're at a party, you go hang out with the adults when you're an adult. You know, maybe you see what the kids are doing, you say a hi and bye, make sure nobody's getting hurt, that sort of thing. But I don't know what's up with her. It seems like she's stunted a little bit or something like that. Or I don't know, it's creepy, a grown adult acting like a little baby all the time, you know? And yeah, you had to do something. This woman was basically, bullying those kids into doing what she wanted to do when she should be taking a seat talking to the adults. Your father seems to be smitten with her, and I don't believe you should apologize because she was in the wrong, and she sounds like she's been doing this for a while. I don't know what he sees in her. She must be gorgeous or something, because I could only tolerate that stupidity for so long. I think most people would feel the same. So OP, no, you are not the beehole for doing that. Good for you for, sticking up for your children and keeping them safe. Who knows what this lady's deal is? It's really weird. And our final one is from Making It Work 811. Am I the beehole for blowing up on my roommate for having guest over at 3 a.m.? No, you're not the beehole. Why are you having guest over that late? But back to it. I live in a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom townhouse with 3 other girls. We all get along very well and hang out on occasion with each other. We have one roommate, Tia. Tia usually is never home very often, as she takes herself and her dog over to her boyfriend's, and will be there most of the time. He is currently out of town, so she's been home, which kinda sucks. Sometimes her being home is a massive disturbance. She is loud when she walks and talks. She's heavy-handed, so she slams doors and keeps breaking our AC by leaving her patio door open and letting her dog outside to bark at everyone. She also will sometimes use our dishes and not wash them. Well, last night she texted me and asked if I'd be up late to hang out with her. I told her no because I work and had to be up at 5 a.m. to start my 4 days in a row shifts of 12 hours and went to bed. I got woken up out of a dead sleep at 2 a.m. by her dog barking at the top of his lungs and running back and forth. It startled me because everyone was already home and I wasn't expecting visitors. I checked my phone and saw that she asked our group chat if it's okay to have coworkers at that time, and she'll clean up tomorrow. Nobody responded because it was 2 a.m., but she still had them over anyways. I texted her back in the group chat and told her to just keep it down because I had to be up in 3 hours, and I was already woken up. No response, and what preceded was her and her coworkers running up and down the stairs, yelling and laughing. I texted her again and said I get that this is hard to be quiet because my room is the only downstairs room right next to the living room, and our apartment is all wood, but to please be considerate. No response. I texted again about 30 minutes later when the noise didn't die down, a little bit more angry. telling her to go outside on the patio with her coworkers or just cut it all out together because I couldn't go to sleep and I could hear them, their conversations verbatim. After another 15 minutes of that, not working and me trying to drown out the noise, I flew out of bed angry because it had now been an hour, stomped into the living room to which they were all quiet, and they started profusely apologizing for being loud. I said nothing, grabbed the bottle of water, and stormed back to my room and slammed the door. They immediately left, and after ranting to my sister about it, I finally went to bed. I feel like slamming my door might have been immature, but I was exhausted, watching the clock tick away, knowing I had to be up soon. I'm a nurse at a busy hospital, so I need my sleep. I don't want her to feel like she can't have guests over, and I want us to find a compromise. Am I the beehole? No, OP, you told her that you have to get some sleep because of work and she still had guests over. And she was being extremely inconsiderate, just letting them run up the stairs, be, loud. I don't know. Personally, I don't like that. I don't like parties, don't like anything like that. Plus, it'd be annoying having strangers in your home while you're, in a vulnerable situation, sleeping where anyone can do anything, and she's just letting it happen. If I were you and your other roommates, I would be looking into finding another roommate to replace her with, because it doesn't seem like you guys gel or click with this type of person. So Pete, no, I'm gonna say you're not in the wrong. Even slamming the door, I get it. You know what I mean? This has been building up. You've been pushed to your limit. She's being extremely rude and disrespectful. So I don't think slamming the door was, too bad, because you're not in the right mind either when you wake up pissed. So Pete, no, I'm gonna say you're not the beehole and looking to get rid of that roommate, because I don't think she's going to change. It seems like she's just that type of person, a party animal. Thank you for making it to the end of the video with me, and can you please do what I said in the beginning, and like, comment, and subscribe. It really and truly does help the channel out, it helps it grow, and it helps you get more videos like this. Velvet out.